What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the last podcast on Earth. This is HitPoint Weekly, and I am Donny K, joined by the wonderful
Brandon. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. What's up? We've also got somebody else here. Who else is here?
You got Ethan, aka Violent Robot.
We are here to deliver you the second episode of HitPoint Weekly. Today we will be talking about Nintendo at E3, wrapping up our final thoughts on E3 and other interesting gaming news that we found throughout the week.
Hell yeah. Dude, let's do it. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with not E3? Do we want to start with just something, what we've been playing? Do we want to start there?
Counter-Strike? Minecraft?
Well, I was gonna pick Ethan's brain on a certain game.
Yeah, Battalion.
I'm genuinely curious because I've seen a lot of big players in the esports game tweeting about how much fun they're having in Battalion 1944. And Ethan's the only one who's played it. So
yeah, it's fun. I mean, I've played only 5 hours of it, but competitive, it's super fun.
So like, what's the gameplay like? Is it like just arcadey Call of Duty style? Is it
exactly?
So it's not like plant the bomb, defuse the bomb, CS:GO.
No, the competitive is the S&D. It's got the Counter-Strike S&D Call of Duty. It's competitive.
Gotcha.
That's all you need to know.
Gotcha.
That's all you gotta know.
That's all we're
gonna do. Yes to all of the above, apparently.
All right. How's the gunplay feel? Does it feel pretty good like CS? Is there a bunch of people bitching in the chat about their shots not hitting?
Hit registration is kind of dookie. Could be better, but I think eventually it could be up to CS standards.
So are you leading shots, or is it a little like Counter-Strike where it's like a laser immediately fired out of the gun?
Laser.
Just based on what I've seen from like the CS:GO people, like Machine, he's been big into it lately. Like if he's liking it, there's no way it's like actual projectiles. It's got to be just like hit scan shit. Well, I feel like we're not going to get a whole lot out of your robot on this. You're keeping your cards close to your chest. That's all right.
Just saying, it's competitive, yo.
Do we need to jump into it? Do we need to hop off the CS train and jump into the Battalion train for a bit?
It's fun to have you guys on it, but I mean, I'm not going to force you guys to play anything.
Dude, do you want to carry us there too?
Be hard to carry in. It's definitely a team-based game.
Well, right on. Well, let's give it a try. We're going to play it eventually, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Donnie. Nintendo and E3, it's two of your favorite things in the world.
Two of the best times to be alive, my friend. So Nintendo, the day after we recorded our last podcast, gave their pre-recorded Nintendo Direct, as they have been doing the last few years, leaving Xbox as the only major player to have given an actual conference at E3. But Nintendo's E3 Direct gave us Nintendo's E3 Direct almost counts. Some very, very interesting news as a Nintendo fan coming out of that press conference. We got Animal Crossing's New Horizons is the name. Little island life kind of. They've added crafting elements. Unfortunately, has been delayed. Nintendo's prioritizing the mental health of their developers, which I think is very important. So instead of a holiday 2019 release, we're getting a March 20th, 2020 release. We got a
fucking good on Nintendo, dude.
Yeah, I think that is an amazing thing to see from Nintendo, and it's good that they're taking the priority of their developers' health in mind. So we got, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't think anyone, especially for that reason, but like, you should never be like, sure, you can be disappointed, but you should never be like upset that a game got delayed, right? What's the old saying from one of the heads at Nintendo? It's like a delayed game eventually is good. A rushed game is never good, or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to that. So I think it's a good thing that Nintendo's giving their developers a little break, even if it lets us wait for Animal Crossing a little while longer. They did give us some more gameplay and another little trailer, some co-op elements, up to 8 people per island online. Some very cool looking things for that next Animal Crossing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
the next thing
a lot of people are into that Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, big game, big release for Nintendo. The next thing Nintendo was talking about was Crypt of the Necrodancer, Cadence of Hyrule is a highly anticipated game. Crypt of the Necrodancer, have you guys played it at all?
I haven't at all.
Crypt of the Necrodancer came out last year, maybe. It's just a rhythm-based game. You fight enemies, and there's music going on in the background. You have to move to the music. You can only move to the music. And so Cadence of Hyrule is just the same idea taken further. Now the main character and Link and Zelda are all doing that same kind of thing, but with some awesome heavy metal twists on Zelda music. And it's super cool. You should check it out. It's out now on Nintendo Switch, actually. We got a release date last Sunday, which happened to be for Thursday. I've been playing a lot of that. So we got a launch trailer and then the release date for a couple days later.
So was it just announced that this E3? Was it just announced?
Probably back in January or February it was announced.
Okay. I was gonna say that's a mic drop right there. That's a Bethesda Fallout Shelter, like,
no, Crypt of
here's
the
a game, play it tomorrow type thing.
Crypt of the Necrodancer Cadence of Hyrule is so good. So good. Out now on Nintendo Switch.
Just a couple questions on that real quick before we move on. Is this a standalone game, or is it like an expansion to a previous Crypt of the Necrodancer?
No, so it's kind of I wouldn't even call it a spiritual successor, because it literally is made by the same people and everything, but it is a completely separate standalone game. Cadence of Hyrule is just a subtitle, I would guess. It's almost like Crypt of the Necrodancer 2.
Just because of the tie-in with like the Zelda universe.
So it's a complete tie-in with Nintendo. It's another game in the trend of Nintendo letting third parties use their IPs to make interesting games. Mario and Rabbids last year by Ubisoft is another huge example of that, which turned crazy. It's almost like XCOM with Mario and the Rabbids for some reason.
Because that needs to exist.
That game has no business being as good as it is, but let me tell you, Mario and Rabbids.
Sorry to cut you off.
It's amazing.
They like to throw Rabbids in with everything. Do you guys remember when they threw Rabbids into For Honor there for like a day?
Oh, I remember. Anyways, we're getting a little sidetracked. You said you had two questions about Cadence.
Yeah. And the other question is it like a roguelite, roguelike? I know people are real picky on the definition of that, but like, is it kind of in that same vein as far as gameplay?
My understanding of the roguelite versus roguelike, I think it's roguelite. It's procedurally generated, and when you die, the world resets and you get something else. And of course, you're moving to the rhythm, like I was talking about earlier. But and it brings in the deep, dungeon exploration of the Zelda series with it.
So is it like permadeath? You die, you restart type thing.
Essentially, yep. Very good game.
On. I can get behind that.
Right, I'm on the clock here for Nintendo's E3. Luigi's Mansion 3, we got more gameplay and another trailer. Luigi in said trailer literally poops out a clone of himself, and his name is Guigi, and he is here to help him hunt ghosts, I guess. And apparently it's drop in, drop out co-op. So you trying to come over and play as Luigi's poop clone.
Wait. So if it's drop in, drop out, when someone drops in, does Luigi just fucking drop his drawers and take a shit? Is that what happens?
It's not too clear. Maybe, well, I think the name Gooigi implies that he's not actual crap, but made of goo.
More importantly, when someone drops out, do you have to put him back?
Well, I guess we'll just have to find out when Luigi's Mansion 3 comes out for Nintendo Switch in 2019.
Dude, the real questions being asked on fucking HitPoint Weekly here. Oof.
This is a family-friendly podcast.
I'll bleep it.
Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out November 15th this year. We got another trailer showing off a gym leader and a few more Pokemon. Another set of games I'm very excited for. Some people are extremely mad. I guess Game Freak announced that any Pokemon that aren't in the national decks this time around are not going to be available in the game at all, and people are kind of disappointed about that. I think that people need to get over themselves.
People are all pissed off at that one trainer's design too, right? Like they were like, she's not wearing enough clothes or something.
Yeah, I think as we're approaching 1,000 Pokemon here, Game Freak needs to make a couple of cuts, and it's not out of question for them to make a few cuts here.
I think a lot of people would be happy if they just released one with the original 151 again.
Gen 1ers. Like perma-virgins, I like to call them.
Dude, like, not gonna lie, Gen 1 Pokemon are fucking sweet. Like, I can get behind that. I look at new
It's a
Pokemon.
nostalgia thing. I like the new Pokemon, but some of the old Pokemon also have really cool designs.
A lot of the new ones, they look like, to me anyway, they look like somebody looks like somebody just like took an everyday object, like Phonymon. They took it like a rotary phone and turned him into a Pokemon.
After Pokemon, we got a quick little sizzle reel revealing many, many new things coming to Nintendo Switch. And I'm just going to run through those quickly here. We got Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which came out on PS4 and maybe the Xbox earlier this year, coming to Nintendo Switch September 3rd. The Hollow Knight DLC Silk Song has no release date, but is coming. Ni no Kuni, September 20th. Minecraft Dungeons, which was announced earlier in the week at E3, is coming to Nintendo Switch spring 2020. Elder Scrolls Blades was announced coming to Switch at the Bethesda conference, and they touched on it again, fall 2019 for Elder Scrolls Blades. My Friend Pedro is by Devolver Digital, and have you seen about My Friend Pedro with the talking banana? That's literally all I remember about that trailer, is that there's a talking banana and he somehow accompanies you in this game.
I have not seen hardly anything from the Nintendo conference, so I did not see the talking banana Pedro.
It was announced. It was announced earlier than the Nintendo conference. I guess it was just coming to the Switch now. You'll have to throw some gameplay in here, so I don't just sound like a crazy man. But there is some kind of talking banana game by Devolver Digital coming to the Nintendo Switch.
That sounds like a Devolver game.
Doom Eternal has no release date, but I guess they announced that they're going to be bringing it to Nintendo Switch. Panic Button did the last Doom 2016 port, and they did an amazing job for such a good-looking game running on what is essentially a glorified cell phone. The Sinking City, another cool third-party game, fall 2019. Wolfenstein Youngblood, which we touched on in last week's episode, is coming to Nintendo Switch on July 26th. Dead by Daylight, a popular online game, is coming to Nintendo Switch September 24th. Alien Isolation later this year. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, right up my alley, winter 2019. Dragon Quest Builders 2, which was announced at E3 once again, is coming to Switch July 12th. Stranger Things 3, July 4th. Just Dance, because it has to be on everything. Did you guys see that they're bringing Just Dance 2020 to the Wii?
The OG Wii?
The Wii, not the Wii U. Just Dance 2020. They're skipping the Wii U, is coming to the Wii in our God's year, 2019.
Dude.
They're releasing a new Wii game.
That's like fucking the FIFA. Oh, there I go with the language again. That's like FIFA being released on the PS2 for like way longer than it should.
Yeah,
like, they just barely stopped. Like,
I guess they're from what I've heard, they're pretty popular in retirement homes, I guess. So I guess the old people got to dance. November 5th, coming to Nintendo Switch and the Wii.
That's nanos, dude.
New Super Lucky's Tale is fall 2019. Dauntless is coming late 2019, and of course we got another little bit of gameplay for Super Mario Maker 2 coming out June 28th this year. Did you guys play the original Mario Maker at all?
I didn't. I'm not a big Mario dude. I'm not a big Mario man.
Mario Maker, amazing game. Coming part 2 coming to the Switch later this summer. We got to pick it up and play it together. We got a release date for the long-awaited Link's Awakening remaster, and another trailer coming out September 20th. And we also got a preview of an online dungeon building mode
in Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. So I guess any kind of dungeon room that you've explored in the game, you now have access to that in the dungeon building mode, and your other friends or players can run through your dungeon that you make for them.
Man, Nintendo's really they really like the whole like, we give you the sandbox, create your game, create your fun. That's the whole Mario Maker thing, right? That's the game, right?
Yeah, no, Mario Maker is hardly a game if you don't build your own stages. Yeah, here's a Link's Awakening skin. Make our game for us.
People will love it. I guarantee it. People will love it.
Completely out of left field, some kind of turn-based Dark Crystal game. Did you see that announcement?
Wait, like the Dark Crystal?
The Dark Crystal, like the old weird-ass movie, is getting a turn-based strategy game on the Nintendo Switch.
God. Dude, I just pulled up a video of this. It's just as horrifying as you'd expect it to be.
Turn-based Dark Crystal. Please insert
Jeez.
footage here, sir.
Oh, I will. Oh man, maybe I won't. Are there children watching? Do we want to give them nightmares?
Please don't watch the Dark Crystal if you're listening.
Oh my
A few
hell.
more things to wrap up the Nintendo conference. We got a new Contra game announcement, which Contra in 2019, I guess. There's been rumors of The Witcher 3 coming to the Nintendo Switch and potato quality this summer near you. I've heard that it runs at what is the resolution above 480?
I thought it was just 480p on when you're undocked.
No, in handheld it's 5 something. What's the 500?
560?
Either way, whatever the 5 something. I think it's 570. Are you right between the two? Anyways, it's the 500 resolution and 720p when docked, which potato quality. Witcher 3 is definitely a PC game. No More Heroes 3 was also announced, a popular otaku assassin game featuring Travis Touchdown. That should be pretty good. Fire Emblem 3 Houses is coming out this summer. We just got another trailer. Resident Evil 5 and 6, expanding the Resident Evil library on Nintendo Switch. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Did you guys ever play those games back in the day?
No.
They're very, very interesting sports games featuring Mario and Sonic and their cast of characters all up against each other in Olympic sports. Those are always very good. That'll definitely be a buy for me. Coming November 2019 this year. Why don't you take it away there, Brandon?
Dude, I'll take it away here for a second. I'm going to touch on just a couple of the things that we went through there real quick. How crazy is it that The Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch at all? Like, of all the games, that shouldn't even be possible. They're doing some. Donnie's having some fun editing the doc here, but like that shouldn't even be a thing. CD Projekt Red is doing some. Or they're doing.
I'm not even sure that it is CD Projekt.
It has to be, right? Who else can work that type of magic?
Well, Panic Button has done a good job. Panic Button has done a good job with a lot of the ports. Like I said earlier, Doom and Wolfenstein. I don't know that it's confirmed that CD Projekt is doing the port themselves or if it's being handled by a third party. But either way, amazing feats, like you were saying.
That's freaking crazy. Same with like Alien Isolation. Like that game's not like the craziest in the world, but like
it looks
good looking game.
Sure, though. Yeah.
So that's pretty insane.
Any thoughts on Nintendo's press conference there, Ethan?
No, I don't.
Ethan's got nothing for us.
He's not much one for words, is he?
Here's another reason why I say that, like, Nintendo's Direct that they do right around E3, that counts as E3, like that's E3. Because
it's during E3 on purpose. It's just they're not necessarily at the conference itself. It's pre-recorded. It's a pre-recorded Direct.
But like 90% of the who won E3 lists that I saw were like Nintendo won E3, and I can kind of see why, really.
Well, Nintendo announced a lot of very cool games. Definitely gonna be playing my Switch a lot, especially this summer.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll have to grab a couple of those and give them some goes, give them some games,
give them some gamers.
Do you like how I tried to put you on the spot and you just were like, "Fuck you"?
It's competitive. Come on,
dude.
It's competitive. What do you want from it?
All right, so let's talk about the Avengers. Y'all want to talk about the Avengers real quick?
That PS3 game that was announced in 2019.
All right, so superhero games traditionally have never been like amazing lookers, right? The most recent Spider-Man like set the bar pretty damn high. Like Spider-Man was not representative. That's not representative of the majority of like superhero games we've gotten over the years.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
But a lot of people are really not happy with the graphics in general, like you said, but also people really seem to take issue with the way that our superhero friends look. Donnie, what are your thoughts? Because I know me and you were talking about this in the last podcast. How we were both kind of like, I'm glad they don't look like them. I'm glad they're going their own direction with them. Apparently, we're either in the minority or the majority is the minority is very vocal. One of the two.
So apparently people are mad that they aren't using the likenesses of the superheroes that we know. I guess because they're so well established as Iron Man and Captain America, Robert Downey and Chris Evans, respectively. But I think the bigger issue is that they look like a game that should have been announced 7 years ago on
See,
the PlayStation 3.
See, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Like even if it releases and it looks just like it did in that trailer, like the gameplay comes before everything in my mind, right? You can have the most beautiful game in the world. If it's not fun, then
One of the biggest
what's the point?
developers, Square Enix, and a huge property like Avengers, I feel like they have millions of dollars in this project, though. They can't make it look a little better.
It probably a huge part of that budget probably went just towards the licensing. And especially if they're doing a big open world game, those are expensive games to make. Like,
Who knows?
I don't know,
There's
it's-
only one way to find out if Avengers be any good. But
like
I saw an article earlier today. They were talking about how they're not actually. I know there's been a trend lately about people complaining things out of existence or into existence, but apparently Square Enix has come out and said that they're not going to let us bully them.
so Sonic, we look at the Sonic movie that's coming out, right? And I'm going to say Sonic like that. I'm going to say Sonic because
Sonic.
that's how I like to say Sonic, all right? That's how I've always said Sonic. I don't know where that slight accent comes from, but it's Sonic. But like so Sonic, they released the trailer and everybody was like, "This is not my Sonic. This is not my Sonic," right? They're like, "He looks weird."
Hashtag not my Sonic.
And I agree, he looked weird, and I agree that people can like
He had human teeth.
dude, his eyes weren't connected. It was weird, dude. It was weird. but like, I'm of the mindset that like you're allowed to be dissatisfied with the way something looks, but the second you start making like demands that an artistic vision be changed, like you can look at it both ways. You can be like, cool, they responded to feedback, but at the same time, you can look at it and say this just set a precedent for the rest of the entertainment industry, where basically fans are going to start to expect massive changes to like. It sets a bad precedent in my mind.
I get where you're coming from, that they should have the right to stick to the artistic vision that they have going into it, but I have the right to sleep at night.
Right. And that's totally fair. And
that Sonic?
That goes back to my point of like, you have the like, we can absolutely be dissatisfied with what we got, but when we start like making demands that they change, like I'm pretty sure one article I was looking at was like, there's a petition for them to redo the characters in the Avengers, and I'm like, that's a bit much.
Remake Game of Thrones season 8.
Not gonna lie, I signed that petition, but
you're toxic, dude.
But when I signed the Game of Thrones petition, I signed that as like more of a meme than anything. I have no expectation that they actually remake season 8. That's ridiculous. And
we must send a message to D&D.
Like, more than anything, I was like, I hated this. This is a bad taste that is in my mouth currently. I need some way to like yell into the void, and that was my yelling into the void. Like, I didn't do it out of some expectation of there being like a reaction, right? Or like a response from HBO. And I think a lot of people are in that same boat as me, but I'm sure there's also a lot of people who actually thought that they were going to get season 8 remade if they yelled loud enough. I'm glad Square Enix, they nipped this one in the bud and was like, nope, this is how we're doing it. I'm glad they did that, and I hope they stick to it.
Yeah, I think they saw a lot of the criticism and they kind of gave us the middle finger and told us that they're making this Avengers game, not us. So
I saw one Facebook comment on an advertisement for it that was like, that didn't look like Tony Stark. That's not Robert Downey Jr. And I was like, dude, have you ever seen like any of the old comic books? Like,
right. You know that these are comics outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
It's like their appearances have changed. Their genders sometimes change. Like, like shit happens in comic books. Comic books are fucking wacky, dude. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had to say about that. Is that I think people need to calm down a little bit. I think people need to breathe, and I'm sure if the game is fun, it's not going to matter how it looks. So
I think that's a good position to take. Speaking of people being overly mad about things, did you see the Shenmue 3? You saw that it's exclusive to the Epic Store at launch, right?
This one I'm a little more understanding of. Because the Epic Store, like, I'm fine with games being on the Epic Store.
Games that they said would be available on Steam at launch being exclusive to the Epic Store.
And that's where the big problem comes in right there. Like, that's justified. If you were told one thing and you get another, you're justified to be upset. Ethan, how do you feel about Shenmue 3? More importantly, Ethan, did you ask for Shenmue 3? Did you need a Shenmue 3 in your life?
I did.
Who asked for this game? Actually, weirdly enough, it was crowdfunded, hey?
Kind of.
Really?
Shenmue 3 was, kind of crowdfunded. So apparently enough people asked for Shenmue 3.
So the weird thing about it was it at E3 Gamescom? It was one of the big PlayStation events a couple of years back. They get up on stage and they're like, Shenmue 3, it's happening, but only if you help us make it happen. It was like, so we're like, Sony, you've got the money, just make it like if you're gonna if you think there's a market for this, just like
Yeah, I'm
make
on
the damn thing.
I'm on the Kickstarter page right now. 69,000 69,000 people
Nice.
pledged $6.3 million to this
Oh my hell.
project. So
Oh my God.
apparently 70,000 people had enough interest in Shenmue to make it happen.
Like, I get there's a nostalgia factor because Shenmue, like, you look at the old games, I will fight you to the death. Neither of the Shenmues were good games, right? Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 were not good games. They're arguably
They just
bad
look
games.
it looks so weird.
They're janky. The writing is really bizarre and oftentimes bad. There's like just blatant racism and shit in it, which I'm fine. Like, you can have racism in your game as like a mechanic or whatever, but there's just like
as a mechanic.
so you look at like The Witcher, right? And there's racism in that game towards the various races. Like it adds to the world and stuff, right? Like that's fine. Some of it in Shenmue, I'm not so sure it was there for world building. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Are you suggesting that 70,000 people are racist?
No, I'm not suggesting that 70,000 people are racist. I'm suggesting they have poor taste in writing.
If you backed Shenmue 3, you're a racist.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I'm questioning your sanity. I'd like to talk to you. If you backed Shenmue, please let me know why you backed Shenmue in the comments down below. Like, if we've got one of the 69,000 here, that's amazing. I want to hear from you. I want to chat. It's a weird.
Fight me down in the comments if you pre-ordered Shenmue 3.
Seriously, dude. It's a weird game to come back, and it's really weird how they funded it. It's really weird that it keeps getting pushed back. Like, it's weird. The whole entire Shenmue saga is just, it's a thing, dude. Much like us, it's a thing. But anybody want to fight me on Shenmue anymore? Are you guys done with Shenmue?
I'm done with Shenmue 3. I think
done
it should have
before
been
you started.
What? You don't want Shenmue? Is that what I'm hearing? Or what?
Yeah,
no
that's
Shenmue?
what you're hearing.
Dude, and here I thought
Give
you
me
were the
the
one person
million.
here.
Ethan confirmed, not a racist.
Dude. God
Thank
damn
you.
it. All right. I was just going to touch on Gears 5 a little bit if you guys wanted to touch on Gears 5, just because I think we totally
Is it
skipped
because
it
you
last week.
forgot it last week?
I did forget it last
Don't
week.
you say we, mister. You forgot.
What? You telling me I did the majority of the run through on the Microsoft presser? What? That is an accusation, sir, that I don't appreciate.
Tell me about Gears 5.
It looks like it's more Gears. It's got some interesting new multiplayer mode. It's like an Escape the Hive cooperative mode, where you and a couple buddies, you bust into a hive, you plant a bomb, the bomb goes off, and then you got to escape both the bomb and the awoken hive. Looks interesting. Looks like it could be fun. Gears, the game that popularized Horde mode, right? So it's kind of a new take on that. I don't know. It looks fun. I think we should do it. It's coming to PC and Xbox in, I had the date here, in
It's at the bottom of the dock, dude.
Yeah, September 10th of next year. It's coming, right?
There you go.
I think the beta for that multiplayer mode I was just talking about is like coming out in the next month or two.
There you go.
If it's anything like Gears of War 3, that's the game I'm going to play.
Dude,
That's a game. That's a game Ethan's gonna play.
have you ever played a Gears of War and not had fun?
I played the fourth one for about an hour.
Did you have fun with it for that hour, or was it just like pulling teeth?
It was kind of pulling teeth.
Oof.
I played none of the Gears of War and I still had fun.
Donnie, do you want to do a co-op playthrough of Gears 1?
We'll play Gears together, my guy.
Dude, we're gonna play Gears 1. I want to be there for Donnie's first Gears experience. I'm gonna
Live
pop
on
his Gears
YouTube.
cherry, dude.
Live streamer here.
All right, give us your. All right, live streamer. What's your perspective on Gears? Let's hear it.
I don't have a perspective. I just want it to be good.
Dude, I hear that. And that one's going to be a Game Pass game, right? On both PC and Xbox, I think. I'm pretty sure. I could be talking out my ass if I am.
I think that's a part of Microsoft's big push to PC gaming. They want to bite of that cookie.
Yeah,
they already have the Game Pass then.
Yeah, I think they want pretty much all their first party games to be going on the Game Pass. So, like right at launch. So, Ethan, you did buy the Game Pass then?
I've had the Xbox One for a while.
So tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about it. What's your thoughts on the value proposition? What have you enjoyed the games on? I want to hear a little bit about Ethan and his Game Pass experience.
Well,
Got to put him on the spot like that.
yeah,
Dude, I'm really enjoying putting him on the spot. I don't know
Can
if
you
you
even name a single Game Pass game? Tell me one game on Game
Sea
Pass.
of
Let's start with
Thieves.
that. There you go.
Sea of
Sea of Thieves. Name a good game on Game Pass.
Dude, Sea of Thieves, people
Forza
love Sea of
Horizon
Thieves.
2.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
the open world Forza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go look. It's been a while since I played on the Xbox.
So you're paying for something that you don't actually use.
Hey man, it's like $13 a month.
Like
That's-
Netflix.
It's like
That's fair.
Netflix.
So
You know,
new
your
question then,
parents,
Ethan.
your parents pay for Game Pass, and you just steal their password forever.
New question then, Ethan, because here in the US, I think Game Pass is $10 a month, right?
Exactly.
$9.99. Are you going to upgrade to the Ultimate Game Pass that includes both the Xbox and the PC? It's only $5 more a month. You get
No.
Xbox and PC and Ethan, if I haven't sold you yet, not only do you get the Game Pass on Xbox One, PlayStation, or not PlayStation, yeah, you get the Xbox Game Pass
Xbox
on
One,
PlayStation.
If it's
On
PlayStation,
Xbox
Hook it up.
But you also get Xbox Live Gold for $15 a month, dude. That's a pretty good deal.
$15, Ethan. Who wants to
Yeah.
play online on Xbox?
I mean, me,
I might do it for my brother, my
for
little
your
brother.
Aw,
But
wholesome content.
dude, that would be just a good, like, if you got a little brother who like can't afford to buy a bunch of games or whatever, that'd be a good freaking gift. A couple months of Game Pass.
I actually saw a guy on Reddit talking about this the other days. He made his little nephew's PS4 his primary PS4 console, and his nephew ended up spending $500 on Fortnite V-Bucks off his credit card.
I was gonna say smart kid, but
He got a call from his brother or brother-in-law, I guess, and he's like, "Hey, my son has like 70,000 V-Bucks. Is that supposed to happen?" So he spent almost $600 on.
Does this guy not check his credit card statement ever?
I guess not. There was a whole explanation on Reddit,
Yeah.
but
I like to think that if you didn't notice $600 just went missing, that you've got $600 to go missing. You know? But yeah. No, I think Game Pass looks like it's going to be a pretty hop in value. I think Xbox is Phil Spencer and the Xbox team, they've been holding true to their word of really trying to be supportive of the PC market. And I think this E3 has really emphasized that. All right. All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to touch on? Any games that we burned through on our list there that we want to head back and just briefly gloss over? Any
I do.
interesting
But
tidbits?
first I want to listen to you struggle to come up with stuff to say a little more. So one thing I wanted to bring up that I missed during the Nintendo E3 Direct, huge news. Our next two Dragon Quest, our next two Smash Bros. Let's talk Smash Bros. Our next two Smash Bros. DLC fighters are coming out. So we got the hero from Dragon Quest. So the rumors for months were talking that we were just going to get a single main character from Dragon Quest, but we actually got every single main character from Dragon Quest history coming this summer, which should be pretty good. That seems pretty cool. I'm assuming they'll all have the same moveset, so they'll just be like echo fighters of the same guy, but that should be pretty dang cool. And then the next one, highly requested, we got a cool little fake out with the Duck Hunt dog. I don't know if either of you saw that trailer.
You tell me the Duck Hunt dog is coming to Smash Bros?
Duck Hunt dog was in the last Smash Bros, Brandon.
Oh, oof.
Duck Hunt. We got a cool little fake out with the Duck Hunt dog, though, because everyone has been requesting Banjo and Kazooie are coming to Smash Bros this fall. And that should be pretty good. All the rare, it was a good little trailer. You'll have to clip it here for me, but all the rare characters, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, those guys were hanging out in a cabin, and then suddenly
shack.
in a little shack. Suddenly Banjo and Kazooie show up and everyone's all excited. They get to hang out again. All the Rare characters. So it's nice to see. Obviously, Microsoft owns Rare right now. It's nice to see Microsoft. Phil Spencer said it was a very easy decision to let Nintendo, use Banjo and Kazooie when they approached them about it. So that's really nice to see. That was a highly requested character.
Microsoft and Nintendo, they've been playing nice lately. They've been
they're friends. They're friends.
They are, dude. They're buddies. I think they realize that they're not exactly direct competitors. Sure, you look at the console space and you look at Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo as like the big three, but Nintendo really isn't a direct competitor with either the PlayStation or the Xbox in my mind.
Why not?
I just think they appeal to totally different markets. I think that, your average dude bro in college, he's going to go for an Xbox or a PlayStation long before he goes for a Nintendo of any sort. Like, me getting a Switch was like to get a portable Dark Souls machine, right? Like, it really never crossed my mind up until Dark Souls got announced for it.
I mean, but the Switch is great.
Dude, the Switch is great. I'll agree with you. It's one of the best purchases I've made. Your core console player, I don't think the Switch is really...
I think real gamers have a PC.
All right, Donnie.
real gamers unite.
The 1%
Competitive scene.
represent.
I just think most people that I know who have a Switch have all three, actually, the Xbox, the PS4, and a Switch. Even most throw a PC in there and you've got the golden four.
Yeah.
Quadfecta.
Quadfecta, I like that.
No, but it sounds like you totally disagree with me. They're direct competitors and they should not be sharing properties, apparently.
I think they should be sharing properties. I think that's good. I just don't think the way you make it sound like no one who's interested in Xbox should be interested in a Switch. I think the people who are interested in Xbox are gamers, and the people who would be interested in the Switch are gamers.
No, so what I mean by that is more so like the majority of people don't have more than one console. The people who do are the enthusiasts, right? I think that you take like little Timmy, who's asking for a console for Christmas. I think the odds are much higher that he considers a PlayStation or an Xbox before he considers a Switch.
I think the Nintendo Switch is a very good proposition for kids. I teach kids. I always hear them talking about wanting a Nintendo Switch. Two little kids that I teach are just talking about how they saved up their allowance and their parents bought them a Switch.
Dude, that is adorable. I'd like to see little Timmy walk into a GameStop with his allowance money. This is weird. Why am I watching a little kid walk into a GameStop?
how about we take that out? We'll take that
staying in. That is staying in.
Oh man, no, I'd like to say that you're wrong. The people, I don't know if anyone's buying just a Switch. The Switch seems to be
supplementary.
Like, sure, and I think it's a great plan for the DS was always the one that parents bought their kids when their kids wanted a console and they couldn't they didn't want to buy them the big PS3 or Xbox or whatever.
It was the cheap option. The DS was cheap.
Yeah, now the Switch is slightly cheaper than the other two. I guess it's cheaper, it's like the PS4 Slim and the Xbox One. What's the smaller one?
You can get an Xbox for like $100 less than a Switch.
Sure, but the Switch is, I don't know. To me, the kiddie games are on Switch. You got all the bright, colorful Nintendo IPs that they have out there.
I think you're right. I think like especially the younger you go, the more that's going to skew in favor of the Switch. I'm thinking like
Nintendo also just
like middle
really
school and high school is where I think it skews towards the Xbox and the PlayStation. If like they're given the choice,
those are the edgy gamers. We don't talk about the edgy gamers.
The emo gamers.
I just think Nintendo's marketing is geared a little bit towards either children or people who were children when these IPs were huge. So nowadays, I think it's the longtime fans and the kids. I don't know if anyone outside of that is really buying into the Switch, but I mean, it's enough for 17 million Switches to have been sold. So
I think you just cracked the mystery because that describes me to a T. I had a SNES and a NES growing up, but like when I really became a gamer, quote unquote, it was my parents' PC and a PlayStation, right? Like
Sure. So like all the classics that they're coming out with right now, the Smash Bros recently, the Pokemon coming this year, all that kind of
speak to me.
Right. So that's definitely not for you, but I don't know. The Switch is almost if it's not a game I have to have on PC, such as The Witcher 3, just the convenience of portability on the Nintendo Switch will sell almost every game for me. Like all the Final Fantasies are getting remastered right now. And besides 7, 8, 9, 10, I'll probably all buy on the Nintendo Switch. It's just the portability. What if I'm doing an intense game and I gotta get up and go to the washroom. I can just take my Switch with me. Take your PS4 to the washroom sometime, Brandon.
Dude, that's
Portability.
fair.
Portability.
That's a good argument for sure. While we're on the subject of portability and Nintendo Switches, do you actually take yours like out and about with you? Does your Switch travel?
My
with you?
Switch
Like,
travels. My Switch has traveled quite often with me. It's perfect for like if I'm going to a party. Drunk people love it when you whip out a Switch and you're like, "Who wants to play Mario Kart?" Smash Bros, Mario Kart, all those kinds of games are perfect at a little party or whatever. You know, it's good to just sit in a corner with your good friends, just hanging out.
Open up your trench coat. You got Joy-Cons lining both sides.
Hey kid, you want to play Mario Kart? No, I think the Nintendo Switch is a perfect console. The Wii U was the concept, and the Nintendo Switch was them having the technology to fully realize what they wanted to do. I don't know. I could gush about the Nintendo Switch all day. The portability and just how perfect it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful system.
No, I totally agree. And like for all of what I've said, like the Switch, I love my Switch. Like I just said, it's a great console.
Portable Dark Souls. That was even your argument. You literally said the great part about the Switch is portable Dark Souls.
Dude, Dark Souls on the go. It sold me. But
what are our closing thoughts?
Oh, I don't know, Ethan. Do you feel like you've said your fill? Anything you want to add to this conversation?
He's just listening, dude.
Yeah, I'm not much of a talker, but games are great. Competitive's great. Boys are great. YouTube's great. Let's go.
Let's go, gamers.
I love your positivity about everything. Everything is great. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Please don't copyright strike this video.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this podcast, if you're one of those people, but you don't want to watch it, I've got news for you. We are now live on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play. We're live on those things, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll be up on iTunes, but no promises on that one. They're taking their time.
Yeah, it's real good to tell them they have other options at the end of the podcast, Brandon.
Dude, if they made it this far, dude,
I love you. If you're listening to this right now, I love you.
Yeah, we love you, and there's other options out there for you. We've got them linked. Follow us on Twitter at your HitPoint, YOUR HitPoint. Follow Violent Robot on Twitter. I don't think he has a Twitter for Violent Robot, but do it. Find Violent Robot and follow him, whoever that is. Follow that man. Let him know that you love his opinions on competitive being great. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Wait, Donnie, real quick before we go, do we want to touch on our future plans? Do we want to tease? Do we want to put any commitments out there?
Ooh, I'd like to mention that I don't think there's too many terribly good in-depth reviews of the monthly Humble Bundle, at least not in my 5 months of searching. So I'd like to fix that.
Donnie, I reckon you're right. I reckon there's not many great reviews. I mean, I'm sure there's a few great ones out there, but I'm sure there's not many great reviews of it there.
We can none that have my opinion attached to them. So we'll put that out there. We'll see what happens. A little bit of a Humble Bundle review. I love Humble Bundle. I could talk about it all day, but it sounds like we're almost done here.
Yeah, so we've got some Humble Bundle stuff coming up. It's probably not going to actually start until next month when the next Humble Bundle drops, but I could be lying to you. Something might drop before then, but officially we're looking at next month, right, Donnie?
Yes, sir. Sounds about right to me. Good night, my sweet gamers.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye. I left my dog in the oven.
What is it? Honest gaming news? Is that what it is?
No, that was an old thing, Donnie.
Okay. Dishonest gaming news.
Currently, it's a thing.
Currently, dishonest. Everything I say is a fucking lie.
We're not really journalists. All right, you ready to go?
Dishonest gaming news.